بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Inshallah, we're going to be studying this book, Four Steps to Understanding Balagah. So the notes are in here, but let's run it through a quick summary on the PowerPoint, inshallah. So we've covered Nahwa to a certain extent. We've covered Sarf. So now we're moving on to Balagah. What is Balagah about? I'm not going to get on too technical. I want to understand what it's about, how it works. Very brief, before getting too technical. Okay. So what is Balagah? In simple terms, this is what Balagah is. So Balagah yablugh is bulughan Balagah, to reach somewhere. And when we talk about Balagah, rhetoric or eloquence, this is what it means. To use Fasih words. I'll explain what Fasih means. So basic Fasih words. Correct grammar. Have you studied grammar before? What subject you study that in? Nahwa. And Sarf. So we study Nahwa, we study Sarf. So use the correct grammar in an appropriate and suitable manner. Okay. What does Fasih mean? It conforms to the rules of Nahwa and Sarf. That's what Fasih means. Okay. Basically correct. But in terms of Nahwa, in terms of Sarf, in terms of pronunciation, it's easy to pronounce. Something's really hard to pronounce, tongue twisters. Imagine like the Quran had tongue twisters in it. It wouldn't be an eloquent book, would it? So when it says here Fasih, it means it's good quality language. Simple, good quality language. It's easy to understand. Just using hard words doesn't mean it's good. Imagine, for example, you're speaking to a bunch of kids. Now you're going to use high language. You don't understand what you're saying, but that's not eloquent language. It's to use the correct language grammatically, which suits the needs of the audience. So when you say Fasih, it has to be correct in terms of grammar and Sarf. So for example, let's say I said this: Allahumma ghfur li'aba'ana wa li'ummatina wa li'ana. Now, you know what I'm saying? Can you figure out what I'm trying to say? Let's say Allahumma ghfur li'aba'ana wa li'ummatina wa li'ana. What am I trying to say?
Our
Forefathers,
our mothers, and our children.
No, li'ana. What's ana? Me.
I'm sorry.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Is this correct? This is full of mistakes because basically it's ghafara yaghfiru. It's not ghafara yaghfiru. So it can't be Allahumma ghfur. It has to be Allahumma ghfir. And then lam's harf with aba, ina. So it's a nahwa mistake. There's a sarf mistake here, nahwa mistake here. Ummun, the plural is not ummat, the plural is ummahat. Another sarf mistake. And then li'ana is another mistake because lam, the plural, when you have a harf jar, you don't have li'ana, you have li. So this is obviously, you can understand what I'm trying to say, but that's not correct because it's a grammar mistake. That's very obvious. It's not going to. So you have to get all the nahwa. That's why you don't study this in the beginning. You have to study this after you do nahwa and sarf, so you know, okay, what is correct grammatically. And then after that, use it appropriately. For example, another example, easy to pronounce. Another point you have to remember. What's this word? Come on, pronounce it. Yeah, that's a word that you learn in English. It's a hard word. So imagine, I don't know what it means, but it's a hard word to pronounce. Imagine the Quran had lots of these hard words. It's hard to pronounce. It would feel very, it's not something you want to listen to. You want nice, simple, good. So it has even if it's correct grammatically, you know what tongue twisted, she sells, she, you know the one, isn't it? Sea on the seashore. So if you have that kind of sentences, and you have to read a speech like that, you're going to have your tongue's going to be tied up. You find it difficult to pronounce. You find it difficult to get the message across. So that's not good quality language. There's one Nahwi, his name was Amr al-Nahwi. So when he fell off the horse and everybody gathered around him. And they said, what's wrong? Are you alright? So he read this to them. مَا لَكُمْ تَكَأْكَأْتُمْ عَلَيَّ تَكَأْكَئِكُمْ عَلَى ذِي جِنَةٍ فَفْرَنْقِئُوا أَنِّي. Basically, why have you gathered around me like a madman? Go away. But obviously, and the people obviously, the Arab, they're like, he's gone mad, just leave him alone. They don't know what he said. Now, it's correct, grammatically it's correct. مَا لَكُمْ جملة اسمية تكأكأتم جملة فعل فاعل متعلق مفعول مطلق متعلق فعل فاعل متعلق. It's correct. But nobody knows what you're talking about. It's just too hard. It's hard to pronounce. And it also these words are not commonly used. So just by using hard words, it doesn't mean, oh, you're a great speaker. So you get what I'm saying? So, easy to understand. And it doesn't mean you have to use very low language, but something everybody can relate to understand. For example, I don't know what this means. I just seen it. I just googled hard metaphors and it said this: happiness is a ditch. I don't know what that means. If you say this, oh, happiness is a ditch, what does that mean? I don't know what it means. If you say, for example, I'll give you one example that suits you. He's a wall. So automatically, everybody who understands football will know. Okay, wall means what? It's a good defender. He's a brick wall, solid in defense. They park the bus. So everybody who's aware of that language will understand what's going on. Okay? For example, somebody's a very good speaker. He's another Martin Luther King. Or he's another Winston Churchill. So you understand, okay, in terms of his speech. So it has to be something, if you say, oh, he's another James Thomas. Who's James Thomas? I don't know him. So it's correct. He is another James Thomas. But who's James Thomas? I don't know James Thomas. So it's not easy to understand. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just common sense, you're using good quality language that is easy to understand. Okay? And appropriate. It has to be appropriate. Fit the needs of that conversation. As I gave an example before. Let's say, for example, I said you could speak to nursery children. Now you're going to start giving long khutbah and you start long hadith and you give the high level translation and these kids are like, we don't know what you're talking about. They start playing with the toes and the noses and everything and it's like, you have to speak on their level. And if you can use very, very baby language maybe you're writing your doctorate or you're doing a research paper and use baby language, that's not. So use what is appropriate. Let me give an example. Allahumma rzuqna hajatina. That's it. Is anything wrong with it grammatically? Allahumma, O Allah, urzuqna, give us hajatina, our needs. Correct? It's correct, isn't it? But I mean, imagine somebody made this dua only. Is that wrong or is that right? He made only this one dua. Allahumma rzuqna hajatina.
It's not wrong, but it is not appropriate.
Why it's not appropriate? You don't know the condition.
Yeah.
Imagine Shaykh Sudais, Hafidhahullah, he made this dua in the haram. Khatm al-Quran, that's it, and then he went to ruku. Everybody came, the Khatm al-Quran dua, and he just read, Allahumma rzuqna hajatina, Allahu Akbar, went to ruku, that's it, finished. That's not what we're here for. There now, you're making dua, so now you expect something a bit longer. You understand what I'm trying to say? And even within the dua, so let's say for example, okay, they do dua in haram in Taraweeh. So imagine the first night, or every night, they make 1 hour dua every night. That's not really appropriate because everybody, every night people get tired. So again, you have to have correct language to make your kalam baligh, very eloquent. It has to be correct in grammar, and obviously any person who knows the language in Arabic, but even a lot of these will apply English. English grammar, Arabic grammar, Urdu grammar, French grammar, Spanish grammar, you can speak properly and correctly. But then the main thing that makes a person eloquent is then using the right words at the right time, the right context. That then increases the value of the language. Okay? Another example. This is a nice conversation, isn't it? Is that a nice conversation? You can't see it? Is that good? Is that a good, nice? Yeah? Do you agree it's nice? Huh? It's formal, but is it good? Appropriate? But you can't say appropriate because you don't know what's appropriate too. So is it correct grammatically?
Yeah.
But imagine what you do this when you phone 999. Do you know all these details? When you phone and say what, state emergency.
Yeah.
There's no time to have a conversation. Do you understand? So certain times you need to make it long. Sometimes you need to make your speech short. And all this is after you have the correct grammar. But there's nahwa, sarf, correct choice of words. And all of that you match up with the necessities of the conversation or the demands of that gathering or that conversation, that speech. Then that becomes what? Something called baligh. It reaches the level of balagah. I mean, it's baligh. It's what you want. That's our target. Okay? You understand? Does that make sense? Yeah? Now, balagah, what's balagah made up of? So you have balagah. Okay? What's the requirements of balagah? The first is, it's not really called ilm al-i'rab, but I've called it ilm al-i'rab so I understand why later on. So you have ilm al-i'rab. What's ilm al-i'rab? Basically nahwa and sarf. So it's not called ilm al-i'rab, but I'm calling it ilm al-i'rab because it's not called ilm al-ma'ani. So this is something we studied already. This is a requirement for us to understand. You can't teach the first year students balagha because they're like, okay, I don't even know what the correct word is. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay? So you have ilm al-i'rab, meaning nahwa and sarf. It's not called ilm al-i'rab, I'm just giving an example. Opposite that is ilm al-ma'ani. What's ilm al-ma'ani mean? Ma'na jama ma'anin, meaning meanings. What does that mean? You understand not only the grammar, but the differences in the meanings. I'll give you an example later on. Okay? So you have mubtada khabar structure, you have fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul. So can you have fa'il, maf'ul, fa'il? What would that make a difference? Is it correct grammatically? But would that alter the meaning? So you understand the meaning of different structures. I'll explain, give an example later on. And that's called bayan. What's bayan mean? A lecture. in Urdu, but bayan means expressing oneself. So now you use correct grammar, but now you're able to use metaphors, similes, and now it becomes more eloquent. This is ilm al-bayan. And that's ilm al-Badi'a. You use grammatical tools called embellishments, meaning you make your speech and your writing and whether it's a writing or whether it's a speech, you make it better, make it nice, make it sound nice, look nice. I'll give you an example of all of these. This is what we studied before. It's a prerequisite, a requirement. Without this, you can't understand these. So we've done this one in Nahwa and Sarf for the last painstaking 2 years. Yeah. Now we've reached here. We're going to study these. Okay. So these are 3 sciences we're going to study, and it's also mentioned in the beginning of the book as well. It is divided into 3 main sciences, and I call them sections: section 1, section 2, and section 3. Yeah. Make sense? Let me explain this a bit. I'll give one example each so you understand what happens here. What's ilm al-ma'ani? Look at these 2 examples. Mata as-sa'a. So comes in the hadith. Mata as-sa'a. Mata means when. Ayana means when. So grammatically, a Nahwi person, in Nahwa, you look at the sentence and say, Mata as-sa'a. Ayana yawmul qiyamah. The correct grammatically, khalas. Yeah? But Balagah said, well, there's 2 words for when. Why use either? What's the purpose of having 2? Which one is more appropriate? Do you understand? Which one gives more emphasis? Which one is used for important matters? Which one is used for lesser matters? That's why it's ilm al-ma'ani. So ilm al-i'rab, which is nahwa, and it's not called ilm al-i'rab. So ilm al-ma'ani, opposite of ma'ani is i'rab. This is nahwa. This is it correct? Bas. Another example. Na'buduka, na'budu fa'il, fa'il ka, maf'ul. It's not ilm al-i'rab.
But for example, that's like the bare bones.
It's basically getting the language right.
And then this is like the flesh of it, so understanding it in more detail.
Yes. So na'buduka fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul, yeah? Correct grammatically, jumla fi'liya, khalas. Iyaka na'bud. Maf'ul muqaddam, fa'il, fa'il. Jumla fi'liya, khalas. But there must be a difference in it. If you got na'buduka and iyaka na'bud, why have 2 structures? What's the difference? This is what we're going to study. Because ma'ani, the meaning. So we say, okay, maf'ul muqaddam. Okay. What meaning does maf'ul muqaddam give? What's the purpose of it? And we've done this before. It gives what? Emphasis. So when the na'buduka, we worship Allah. Oh Allah, we worship you. And then this believer said, no problem, we worship Allah and the idols. And iyaka na'bud, you worship you alone. Where's alone meaning come from? Because when you learn ilm al-ma'ani, by bringing something first, bringing it before its place, gives it what? Ta'kil, emphasis. So the ma'na of this tarkib. So fa'il fa'il maf'ul fa'il fa'il, nahwa is finished. Both is same. But obviously there's a difference in the meaning. It's what's called ilm al-ma'ani. We discuss all of these things. When to bring it short, when to bring it long, when to bring muqaddam, when to bring mu'akhar. All these kind of things we discuss in ilm al-ma'ani. Okay? Yeah? What's ilm al-bayan? Give you an example. Kitabun, ay, hada kitabun. This is the book. Anzalnahu, we reveal this book to you, so you may take people out from darknesses to light. So you get the Quran, you go in a dark room, and it will show you the way to the corridor where it's not dark. That's what it means, is it? Obviously. It's a metaphor. But obviously from darknesses is better than saying from misguidance to guidance. It's a better way of saying it. You understand what I'm trying to say? One way, for example, Allah, you can say, Allah has everybody in His control. Okay? Okay? And one you can say, Akhidhum bi nasiyati. Nasiya is this part or this part. So nasiya is a forelock. Imagine in a wrestling match, you got somebody by the forelock. You're strong with your hand, you got them by the forelock here. What do you do? You just turn that one movement on the wrist and that guy's gonna go. Now that's, so you can say, Allah, you have power all of us. Or you can say, Allah, inna nawasiyana wa jawarihana biyadi. Allah, our forelocks are in your hands. Meaning, all you have to do is just do a movement on the wrist. Allah doesn't have wrist, but I'm saying is as metaphor that there's a small little, totally under control. It's a metaphor explaining. It makes the explanation even better. So this comes in the Quran, metaphors and similes. For example, the Prophet in hadith, in the Quran, أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَنْ يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا. Would you like to eat the meat of your dead brother? And Allah said, oh, ghibah is a sin. Is ithmun kabirun. Okay, big sin. Allah said, look, do you want to eat the meat of your dead brother? So Allah's giving like a similarly. Look, that ghibah is like this. In the hadith, the Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what does he say? Al-mu'minuna kal-bunyan. The buildings are like one, the believers are like one building, one body. they strengthen each other. So he's given a simile. You get what I'm saying? So it gives a better way of expressing a certain meaning. Okay? And ilm al-Badi', the third science. What happens in here? We add the masala and the spices on top. For example, look at this. طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى سماوات العلا العرش استوى وما تحت الثرى سرنا وأخفى وله الأسماء الحسنى. That's how it flows. Surah Rahman. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علم البيان. Do you understand? So it has a nice. So the grammar is correct. That's obvious. It's Quran. Then the meanings that while Allah has brought one word first, one word afterwards, He may have used metaphors. But on top of that, this is the way it sounds, the meanings He's giving, and the way it's laid out. It's amazing. This is the embellishments that creates a beauty to the language. So there are three different sciences. If you say, for example, ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لشقاوتك إلا تذكرة للخاشين. It's not going to have the same thing. This is the embellishment. The beauty of this is in the way that all of them end in the same pattern. This is the third science. Okay? So a summary of the introduction is what? We have Balagah, and Balagah means you have Fasah, meaning you have Fasih words, meaning correct grammatically, and they have Mutabaqah, they are appropriate, they match. So what does that mean? So Balagah is made up of these two things. You have correct words, meaning grammar is correct, Nahwa is correct, not hard to pronounce, not hard to understand, not confusing, and they're appropriate to the demands of that situation. So you have Mutabaqah, appropriate, it matches the necessities with correct wording, makes a word that becomes Balagah, becomes Baligh. And then what sciences do we have? Ilm al-Ma'ani, which is not the i'rab of the Nahwa, but the ma'ana of the different structures. Okay? Then you have Ilm al-Bayan, metaphors and similes, and then you have Ilm al-Badi', embellishments, which means it creates this improves the quality of the text, whether it's meaning or whether it's writing. Okay? And shall we discuss these three sciences in this book, in the science of Balagah. We do this as an introduction. As I said, this is again as a madkhal, a very basic entry-level book. After this, inshallah, we finish this, inshallah, whenever we do, then we'll do a proper Arabic text. But this is an introduction, so you get idea in English in your mother tongue, to understand how the science works. So when we start the Arabic book, you'll have a good idea of what we're discussing. Okay? Any questions?